Welcome to the Gala presentation of the 2021 Atlantic Book Awards. I'm CTV News Atlantic anchor Amanda Debson, and I'm delighted to be your host for this virtual celebration. It is our custom to start our annual celebration by acknowledging the land on which we gather for the Atlantic Book Awards Gala. With this year's presentation being held online, we are aware that a singular land acknowledgement does not capture the richness of our distribution across many locations in Atlantic Canada and beyond. Because the majority of the organizers of the Atlantic Book Awards and Festival are located in Shubuktux, also known as Halifax, we would like to share the land acknowledgement that is used here. This virtual celebration was produced in Mi'kmaq, the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We recognize the peace and friendship treaties signed between the British Crown and the Mi'kmaq from 1760 to 1769. We are treaty people, and we have rights and responsibilities as Mi'kmaq and settlers alike. People watching this video from elsewhere are invited to consider their own position with regard to the land where they find themselves. We have a special event for you this evening. We've invited winners of last year's Atlantic Book Awards to present the outstanding authors, illustrators, and publishers shortlisted this year, and to announce the winners of the 14 different awards that make up the Atlantic Book Awards. We'll also be presenting the Special Pioneer Award, a Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of an individual's exceptional contribution to the literary arts in Atlantic Canada. I want to extend a special welcome to all of you joining us live tonight from our Zoom party. And now, let's get down to business. Two of the awards, one for work of fiction and the other for nonfiction, honor an author's first book. Both awards are named for Margaret and John Savage, who in the late 1980s established the city of Dartmouth as a regional leader in celebrating Atlantic books and writing. Here to present the two Margaret and John Savage First Book Awards is Amy Spurway, author of Crow, winner of last year's Fiction Award.
Here are this year's nominees for the Margaret and John Savage First Book Award Fiction. Julie Kerwin for the appendage formerly known as Your Left Arm, Bulladry Island Press. Morgan Murray for Dirty Birds, Breakwater Books. Alison Taylor for Aftershock, a novel, HarperCollins. And the winner is Aftershock, a novel by Alison Taylor. The jurors praised Aftershock as a propulsive, character-driven story about a mother and young adult daughter who are at a breaking point with each other and themselves. With emotional depth, insightful dialogue, and a command of structure, Alison Taylor guides their characters through grief, despair, shame, and opioid addiction toward a path of reconciliation. The themes that flow through the book make it timely and relatable. The compassion Alison Taylor shows for their flawed characters evokes empathy from readers as they strive to be better versions of themselves. Aftershock is a deep exploration of shared trauma and also of healing. Congratulations, Alison. And here are the three nominees for the Margaret and John Savage First Book Award for nonfiction. Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion by Tyler LeBlanc, Goose Lane Editions. The Dome Chronicles by Gary Leeson, Nevermore Press. Capturing Crime by Carol Taylor, New World Publishing. And the winning book is The Dome Chronicles by Gary Leeson. The jury wrote, "In The Dome Chronicles, Gary Leeson invites you to be part of his search for home. Anecdote by anecdote, the reader is invited to get to know Gary's new chosen community and the people that he sketches with skill, humor, and love. This book has a broad appeal, and the selection of photographs are presented to evoke the feel of a family album." Congratulations, Gary.
The Alistair MacLeod Prize for Short Fiction was inaugurated in 2016 to honor the legacy of one of this region's and this country's most gifted and admired writers. Here to present this year's nominees and announce the winner is last year's winner, Martha Wilson, author of Nosy White Woman.
Here are the 2021 nominees for the Alistair MacLeod Prize for Short Fiction. Chris Benjamin for Boy with a Problem from Pottersfield Press. Wayne Curtis for Winter Road, Pottersfield Press. And Julie Kerwin for the appendage formerly known as Your Left Arm, Lartery Island Press. And the winner is Julie Kerwin for the appendage formerly known as Your Left Arm. Here's what the jurors had to say about this short fiction collection. In the 12 interlinking stories in the appendage formerly known as Your Left Arm, author Julie Kerwin creates worlds and characters that are both odd and fascinating. Kerwin gives the reader stories that are both meaningful and incredibly entertaining through her use of evocative language and her pure gift of storytelling. Her characters are both strange and relatable as they battle their demons, often to outrageous but perfectly crafted finales. With many stories addressing the topic of psychosis and mental health, a less skilled writer may have fallen trapped to repetition, but each of Kerwin's stories are exceptionally well written and deliciously unique. Kerwin addresses all with humor and compassion. Congratulations, Julie.
The key criteria for the Atlantic Book Award for Scholarly Writing is a work's likeliness to have a significant literary, social, and academic impact in the areas of social sciences and humanities. The books submitted for consideration this year remind us that our region's cultural richness is grounded in deep, compelling, and sometimes painful historical experience. Here is last year's winner, Ella Jane McMillan, author of Truth and Conviction, Donald Marshall Jr., and the Mi'kmaq Quest for Justice.
The 2021 nominees for the Atlantic Book Award for Scholarly Writing, sponsored by Marquee Book Printing, are Margaret Conrad for At the Ocean's Edge, A History of Nova Scotia to Confederation, University of Toronto Press. Alan McEachran for The Miramichi Fire, A History, McGill Queen's University Press. Andrea Proctor for A Long Journey, Residential Schools in Labrador and Newfoundland, ICER Books. And the winner is Andrea Proctor, A Long Journey, Residential Schools in Labrador and Newfoundland. The jury praised this book as a very rich story that complements both the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the broader literature on residential schooling in Canada, combining a strong analysis of missionaries, philanthropists, and government operating across the expanse of Labrador from the 18th to the 20th century. The work is noteworthy for its attention to a dilemma that is universally attached to education, of which neither the sponsors nor the respective communities, families, could fully appreciate the impact. Congratulations, Andrea.
The Evelyn Richardson Nonfiction Award is named for the Governor General's award-winning author of We Keep a Light and is one of 5 Atlantic Book Awards administered by the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. Here's last year's Richardson winner, Amy McKay, author of Before My Time, A Memoir of Love and Fate.
Hello from Scotts Bay, Nova Scotia. Here are the nominees for this year's Evelyn Richardson Nonfiction Award. Silver Donald Cameron for Blood in the Water, a true story of revenge in the Maritimes, Viking Canada. Tyler LeBlanc for Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion, Goose Lane Editions. Rebecca Rose for Before the Parade, a history of Halifax's gay, lesbian, and bisexual communities, 1972 to 1984, Nimbus Publishing. And the winner of the 2021 Richardson Award is Tyler LeBlanc for Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion. Here's what the jury had to say. Acadian Driftwood tells the story of a family wrenched apart by the colonial project, unceremoniously kidnapped from their homes and tossed to new lands intended to be forgotten. And yet, through Tyler LeBlanc's evocative prose, we witness the LeBlanc family persevere and Acadian culture endure. This rigorously researched narrative brings readers into the intimate fold of 18th century life for the Acadian people, and then deftly expands the view, reminding us that colonial persecution continues here on Turtle Island and around the world. Tyler LeBlanc's inimitable writing and masterful storytelling must be celebrated. A truly stunning work. Congratulations, Tyler.
The Democracy 250 Atlantic Book Award for Historical Writing was inaugurated as a legacy project following the 2009 celebrations of Nova Scotia's pioneering role in Canadian democracy. As this is the final year that we will be offering an award under the Democracy 250 name, the Atlantic Book Award Society wishes to thank the D250 organizers for their generosity and foresight in supporting a book prize that has celebrated excellence in Atlantic Canadian historical writing and publishing for more than a decade. Here is last year's winner, Andrew Theobald, author of Dangerous Enemy Sympathizers, Canadian Internment Camp B, 1940 to 1945.
Here are the nominees for the Democracy 250 Atlantic Book Award for Historical Writing. Ernest J. Dick for Silver Hair and Golden Voice, Austin Willis from Halifax to Hollywood, Nimbus Publishing, Tyler LeBlanc for Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion, Goose Lane Editions, Jennifer Thornhill Verma for Cod Collapse, The Rise and Fall of Newfoundland's Saltwater Cowboys, Nimbus Publishing. And the winner is Tyler LeBlanc for Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion. The jurors applauded Acadian Driftwood, saying, "This eye-opening account of the history of the Acadians before, during, and after the expulsion impressed the jury with its critically thought-through and well-sourced approach. It felt particularly timely as the world sees refugees displaced by conflicts around the world." The author does not shy away from the mistreatment of the Acadians, not only by the British, but the nations to which they fled. An accessible and intriguing read. Congratulations, félicitations, Tyler.
Our next two awards celebrate excellence in books for children. The Anne Connor Brymer Award for Atlantic Canadian Children's Literature was established by the family of Anne Elizabeth Connor Brymer, a dedicated educator and Atlantic officer for the Canadian Children's Book Centre. And the Lillian Shepherd Memorial Award for Excellence in Illustration is named in honor of a longtime buyer and champion of books for the Book Room in Halifax, who understood that illustrations are critical to the success of many children's books. Here to present these two awards is last year's winner of the Brymer Award, Sherry Fitch, author of Everybody's Different on Everybody Street.
The name Anne Connor Brymer is a name closest and dearest to many of our hearts in Atlantic Canadian children's literature. She's certainly the reason I kept writing after a little book called Toes in My Nose. So it's a great pleasure to present, in loving memory of Anne, the Anne Connor Brymer Award for 2021. The nominees are Andre Fenton for Annika, Nimbus Publishing; Tom Ryan for Keep This to Yourself, Albert Whitman and Company; and Joe Tregary for The Gray Sisters, Penguin Teen. I kind of feel like I'm at the Academy Awards. Anyway, and the winner is, drum roll, Tom Ryan for Keep This to Yourself. And here's part of the jury's citation. In Tom Ryan's gripping YA novel, Keep This to Yourself, the author deftly threads throughout his story tantalizing clues that draw readers deeper into the mystery, building wire-taut tension as the characters move inexorably toward a resolution that readers won't see coming, but is ultimately satisfying. Far more than a skillfully crafted whodunit, Keep This to Yourself is a compelling coming-of-age story that explores the evolution of friendship and the consequence of truth. Congratulations, Tom. I look forward to selling that in my little bookshop on a dirt road this summer. I am. So, congratulations and thank you to the jury. It's also my pleasure this year to present the illustrators shortlisted for the 2021 Lillian Shepherd Award. They are Byron Eggenschweiler, illustrator for The Little Ghost Who Was a Quilt, written by Rial Nason and published by Tundra Books. Sydney Smith, illustrator for I Talk Like a River, written by Jordan Scott, Neil Porter Books. Lauren Saloy, illustrator and author for When Emily Was Small, Tundra Books. And the winner is Sydney Smith for his illustrations in I Talk Like a River, beautiful text written by Jordan Scott. And regarding Sydney's work on this book, the award jury said the following: Sydney's genius lies in his ability to so skillfully interpret words, whether they are his own or someone else's. I kind of know that. He illustrated some of my books, sorry. His palette varies with a wide range, and yet he can pace a story with the art. Sydney Smith's illustrations capture every heartwarming nuance. They are fuzzy and indistinct at times, and then also luminous and precise, sparkling and light-infused, portraying the moods and the mystery of the river in his own unique and inimitable and profoundly perfect way. This book is simply a gem in every possible way. Congratulations, Sydney, again and again and again. We're so proud of all our artists and all our writers, and these awards are recognition by your peers for excellence. Congratulations all.
Jim Connors was a longtime supporter of the Dartmouth Book Awards. The award's fiction prize is named in his honor and is supported by Downtown Dartmouth Business Commission and Cluett Insurance. The Dartmouth Book Award for nonfiction is named in honor of Robert Robbie Archibald Robertson. When he passed away in 2010, this community leader was the longest-serving member of the Dartmouth Kiwanis Club, who sponsored this award in his memory. To present the two Dartmouth Book Awards is last year's winner of the Jim Connors Dartmouth Book Award for fiction, Marina Endicott, author of The Difference.
Here are the nominees for the 2021 Jim Connors Dartmouth Book Award for fiction, sponsored by the family of John and Margaret Savage and Royden Traynor. Laura Best for Good Mothers Don't, Nimba Publishing. Leslie Crew for The Spoon Stealer, Nimbus Publishing. Brenda McLennan Duffy for The Silence of the Vessel, a novel, Pottersfield Press. And the winner is Leslie Crew for The Spoon Stealer. The awards jurors applauded The Spoon Stealer as a picaresque novel with a uniquely bold Nova Scotian woman as the protagonist. The mother-daughter relationship echoes throughout the story in a thought-provoking way. True to a picaresque, the protagonist sails off on her great adventure and winds up doing a series of workaday jobs, usually with flair and grace. Crew's heroine does not achieve happiness by marrying or by having children. She is fulfilled in her chosen jobs and her repaired family relationships. The Spoon Stealer owes something to historical fiction and something to Mary Poppins. It smoothly exceeds both. Congratulations, Leslie. And here are the nominees for this year's Robbie Robertson Dartmouth Book Award for nonfiction, sponsored by Weedman Maritimes, Heritage Law Office, and I Love Renovations. Silver Donald Cameron for Blood in the Water, a true story of revenge in the Maritimes, Viking Canada. Tyler LeBlanc for Acadian Driftwood, One Family and the Great Expulsion, Goose Lane Editions. John Tatry for Peace by Chocolate, the Haddad family's remarkable journey from Syria to Canada, Goose Lane Editions. And the winner is Silver Donald Cameron for Blood in the Water, a true story of revenge in the Maritimes. The celebration of this wonderful book is of course tempered by the fact that Silver Donald passed away in June 2020. Well known, well respected across Nova Scotia and beyond for his work as a writer, educator, and a social justice and environmental advocate, Silver Donald is warmly remembered and deeply missed by many joining us for this event. About Blood in the Water, tragically Silver Donald's last book, the jurors said, in this incisive look into the famous case of murder for lobster, Cameron exposes far more than the facts beyond a court trial. His investigation into the cultural complexities of a small Acadian fishing community reveals people who are both perpetrators and victims of crime. This eminently readable story leaves the reader with a nuanced understanding of how justice does and doesn't serve many among us. The Atlantic Book Awards Society offers posthumous congratulations to Silver Donald and appreciation to all who worked with him on Blood in the Water.
The J.M. Abraham Atlantic Poetry Award is named in memory of Father Joseph Murray Abraham, a missionary and humanitarian, and a prolific writer. It is administered by the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. Here's last year's winner, Lucas Crawford, author of Belated Bris of the Brainsick.
Here are the poets shortlisted for the 2021 Abraham Award. Afua Cooper for Black Matters, with photographs by Wilfred Rouser from Roseway Publishing. David Hubert for Humanimus from Palimpsest Press. And Shalin Jodri for Waking Ground from Gaspereau Press. And the winner is Afua Cooper for Black Matters. Here's what the jury had to say. Afua Cooper is a compelling storyteller, a rigorous historian, and a deft poet. The poems in this volume weave together personal, historical, and transnational Blackness to reveal their interconnections, as well as the beauty, pain, ingenuity, resilience, and complexity that characterize African diasporic communities and individuals from Halifax to Spain to the poet's grandfather's Jamaican farm. Cooper's language is sometimes playful, always precise, and overflows with love. For family, for strangers, for known and unknown people whose lives have become a part of the historical record and whom Cooper seeks to reanimate and understand. This is a work of uncommon brilliance. So let's all go read it if we haven't already. Congratulations, Afua.
In 2020, the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia discovered that Nova Scotia was one of the only provinces in Canada without its own Poetry Book Award and set out to remedy this. The result is the new Maxine Tynes Nova Scotia Poetry Award, named in honor of the late celebrated African Nova Scotian poet and teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Mickey Nijeka and I'm one of the sisters of the late Maxine Tynes. To be asked to be a part of the inaugural of the Maxine Tynes Nova Scotia Poetry Award is such an honor. Our sister would have been very pleased to have such an award named for her. Maxine always had a quiet way about her. No great outbursts of excitement, no explosive hurrahs, just an ever so slight tilt of the head, a wry smile, and her classic, except for her eyes. Her eyes always showed her most deepest, heartfelt feelings of gratitude, for they would twinkle ever so brightly, expressing her delight in whatever acknowledgement being granted. Maxine has left quite a legacy in her work and would be more than pleased with the establishment of this poetry award made possible through the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. Thank you, Writers' Federation. And now, without further ado, here are the wonderful poets nominated for the inaugural Maxine Tynes Nova Scotia Poetry Award. Tammy Armstrong for Year of the Metal Rabbit, Gaspereau Press. Douglas Burnett Smith for Burden, University of Regina Press. Shalin Jodri for Waking Ground, Gaspereau Press. And the winner is Tammy Armstrong for Year of the Metal Rabbit. Congratulations, Tammy.
The Atlantic Book Award Society established the Pioneer Award in order to honor trailblazers and groundbreakers who have made a lasting contribution to the development of the literary arts in Atlantic Canada.
It's my pleasure to announce that Ron Kaplan of Breton Books has been selected as the recipient of the 2021 Atlantic Book Awards Pioneer Award. And as the name of the award suggests, Ron is very much that. He's a pioneer, true and tested. In making the decision, the jury commented on his passionate and trailblazing work in telling the stories of Cape Breton and its people to the rest of the world. Through groundbreaking initiatives such as Cape Breton's magazine and, of course, the establishment of Breton Books, which gave a voice to so many Cape Breton writers and storytellers. Here was the true spirit of a pioneer. I found Ron to be a guiding light when I first started publishing in Nova Scotia in 1978. He inspired me both as a publisher and as a writer. Let me give you a quick glimpse of the man. Ron came to Cape Breton in 1971. He published the award-winning Cape Breton's magazine from 1972 through 1999. He established Breton Books in 1986, and it was a press that was devoted to, you guessed it, Cape Breton Island subjects, Cape Breton writers. And even though that was a fairly small niche, he managed to make Breton Books an essential Canadian publishing house, delivering nearly 200 books. Literature, history, natural history, biography, and preserving some of Cape Breton classics. The press is noted for its well-known authors and the sympathetic editor that Ron was and is, and a guy who just put a lot of passion into the publishing of his books. Breton Books also specializes in the Special Link series of books devoted to the inclusion of children with disabilities in childcare and early education. Ron's efforts have received a wide range of recognition, both in culture and business, including the Nova Scotia Cultural Life Award, an honorary degree from Cape Breton University, and an endowed scholarship in his name for students at CBU who will carry on the vision of Cape Breton's magazine and Breton Books. His work as a preserver of Cape Breton culture has also earned him the Order of Canada. Congratulations, Ron. This is an award that you truly deserve.
The Atlantic Publishers Marketing Association Best Atlantic Published Book Award goes to an Atlantic Canadian publisher whose book best exemplifies excellence and achievement in publishing. The author of the winning title also receives a cash prize. The jury for this award considers all of the elements involved in getting the book into the hands of readers. Here to present the award is Gemma Hickey, author of last year's winning title, Almost Feral, published by Breakwater Books.
What's up, Atlantic Book Awards? Thanks for this honor. Here are the exceptional books nominated for the 2021 APMA Best Atlantic Published Book Award, sponsored by the Friesens Corporation. The Forager's Dinner. Finding, Harvesting, and Preparing Newfoundland and Labrador's Edible Plants, written by Sean Dawson and published by Boulder Books. Dirty Birds. Written by Morgan Murray and published by Breakwater Books. Black Manners, written by Afua Cooper, with photographs by Wilfred Roser, and published by Roseway Publishing. Before announcing the winner, I want to share this message from the Atlantic Publishers Marketing Association's jury for this award. It goes without saying that 2020 was a year like no other. One aspect of the APMA Best Atlantic Published Book Award is marketing and promotion, and publishers' marketing plans fell apart during COVID-19. The jury for the 2021 APMA Award wanted to highlight how each of the publishers who submitted to this year's award did a great job getting the word out despite everything, pivoting and adapting to new ways of reaching readers. They backed up their books in a year when connecting with art and stories was more important than ever. And the winner is, I wish there was a drum roll because I'm pretty excited about it, Breakwater Books for Dirty Birds, written by Morgan Murray. Here's what the jury had to say about this book. The jury was impressed by the brilliant writing, unbridled originality, and unapologetic modernity of Dirty Birds, a coming-of-age page-turner set in the caricature contemporary Canada by debut novelist Morgan Murray. Along with the witty artwork by acclaimed artist Kate Beaton, masterful dialogue between the narrative and illustrations, and great design work, the jury appreciated the innovative marketing approach, aimed at reaching an increasingly digital market, and how Breakwater Books embraced this year's switch to online events as one that meshes well with the book's subject matter and appeal. Congrats, Breakwater Books. and congrats, Morgan Murray. Cheers.
The prestigious Thomas Rattle Atlantic Fiction Award, named for Thomas Head Rattle, author of such classic novels as His Majesty's Yankees, The Governor's Lady, and The Nymph and the Lamp. T.H. Rattle's son, Dr. Thomas Rattle, was instrumental in creating this generously funded prize in his father's honor. At $25,000, the Rattle is the largest literary prize in Atlantic Canada and one of the largest in the country. It is administered by the Writers' Federation of Nova Scotia. Here is the winner of the 2020 Rattle Award, Michael Crummy, author of The Innocents.
Hello, everyone. Just want to say what an honor it is to be here and part of this award presentation for the 2021 Thomas Rattle Atlantic Fiction Prize. The three nominees for this year's award are Bridget Canning for Some People's Children from Breakwater Books, Morgan Murray for Dirty Birds, also from Breakwater Books, and Anne Simpson for Speechless from Freehand Books. And the winner of the 2021 Thomas Rattle Atlantic Fiction Award is Anne Simpson for Speechless. Congratulations, Anne. Here's what the jury had to say. With a poet's sensibility for language and a novelist's acuity with narrative, Anne Simpson draws us into some of the pivotal questions of the 21st century. We are asked to consider who speaks and who remains silent, who is heard and who is not, and who speaks for whom. Anne Simpson's characters are both lush and taut, her women brave, complex, delicate, and morally ambiguous realities with dignity and humility. They carry the past on their shoulders, the present in their minds, and the future in their hearts. This beautifully wrought novel is a story for our times. It will leave you speechless. Congratulations to all of the nominees and to Anne, our winner.
Hats off to all the nominees for all of the 2021 Atlantic Book Awards, and congratulations to this year's winners. This is the second year in a row that we've been obliged to offer our annual festival and gala online, and we certainly hope that in-person events and ceremonies will be possible in 2022. Core funding for the Atlantic Book Awards and Festival comes from the Department of Canadian Heritage via the Canada Book Fund. The nonprofit Atlantic Book Awards Society is grateful to all our sponsors and supporters and wishes to extend particular thanks to CTV, the Canada Council for the Arts, Halifax Public Libraries, Alliance Française Halifax, and Chapters Indigo Coles. Visit AtlanticBookAwards.ca for acceptance speeches from tonight's winners in the weeks to come. Thank you for watching, and keep reading Atlantic Canadian books.